Hello, my name is Anthony Reyes. I'm a third year mechanical engineering student and I'm here to talk about how a basic heat exchanger works. So to begin, a heat exchanger is a device that transfers thermal energy from one fluid to another. Heat exchangers are usually used in air conditioning systems or heater systems. So for this presentation, I'll be talking about one specific type of heat exchanger, which is a double pipe heat exchanger. In a double pipe heat exchanger, one fluid flows through the inside pipe, like so, and the second fluid flows through the annular space between the outside pipe and the inside pipe, as you can see here. So let's say this is T hot, and this is T hot out. This is T cold in, just right in here. This is T cold out. The example I'm showing here is an example of parallel flow, meaning that the hot fluid and the cold fluid are entering at the same side of the heat exchanger and exiting at the same side as well. So let's just put some random values here. Let's say T hot in will be 85 degrees Celsius. T cold in will be 25 degrees Celsius. So what happens here is that the thermal energy from the T hot in will be transferred to the T cold in. So T cold out will have a higher temperature than T cold in, let's say at around 50 degrees Celsius, and T hot in will lose its thermal energy to T cold in. So therefore T hot out will have a lower temperature than T hot in. So let's say this is about 70 degrees Celsius. Now, if I were to show you a graph for this, this is temperature and this is distance from the left side to the right side of the heat exchanger, right? So for here, temperature of the hot fluid will start high and decrease to a certain point until it no longer can decrease. So basically when it exits. And T cold, and temperature of the cold fluid will increase from the low temperature to a higher temperature, as you can see here. The reason why the temperatures don't match the same is because the heat losses to the surroundings exist in the system, which goes to show that heat exchangers are obviously not a perfect system. A different configuration for double pipe heat exchanger is counterflow. In counterflow, the schematic is still drawn the same way. The only difference this time is that the direction of the fluids are now different. So let's say this is still T hot in, T hot in, and T hot out. Now this is going to be T cold in, and then T cold out here. This is counterflow. There's also still the same. T cold in will have temperature of 25, increase to 50. T hot in will have 85, degrees to 70 degrees. However, the graph this time It's a little bit different. So from left to right, it shows that the temperature of the hot fluid will decrease to a certain point. But instead of the temperature of the cold water starting from 0 distance, as opposed to the parallel flow, it'll start at the opposite end and then gradually increase to a certain temperature point here. So this is T hot, this is T cold. So that's how a basic double pipe system works for heat exchangers in both parallel flow and counterflow. Thanks for listening.